gotten wind that Disney had a big trailer that they were dropping today at noon, and I tweeted about it. And I, like you, had thought like, ooh, Avatar maybe? But somebody, or some people were like Final Lilo and Stitch trailer or Zootopia 2. But somebody guessed Predator. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, I think you might be onto something, because this is such a good match with Thunderbolts, which is obviously why this trailer is dropping, to play in front of that movie. They're very similar, not only in tone, but I think in scale. I think this is a smaller Marvel movie, and maybe this is a bigger Predator movie. Disney's going all in on Predator. I have to say, we were a little nervous about how they would treat their Fox IP, and so far, so good. I think Apes is getting some love, but boy, they're particularly happy with Predator. Not only this, but the animated movie slash, is it a movie or a series that's coming up? And then also Alien is going quite well. I think we were all very happy with Alien Romulus, which by the end of its run rallied. I think they greenlit another one of those, but also, of course, we have the Alien TV series on Hulu coming up. So it's pretty nice stuff. All we have to do now is get this stuff into the theme parks. All right, so let's take a look at Predator Badlands. This trailer was premiered at CinemaCon. Elle Fanning was there to help introduce it. And apparently the Predator is going to be a good guy this time. He's going to fight with Elle Fanning. All right, so let's watch this thing.
I didn't think you survived.
This is good music. Oh, she looks great. Nice hairstyle. Ew, don't touch that. Oh. Are we on the Predator planet?
You're hunting something that can't be killed.
Wanna bet? That Predator looked funny. I'm not used to seeing them without their mask a whole lot. I thought that was interesting. That's pretty cool. Obviously, he seems like a very young Predator. I feel like this is very similar to The Mandalorian. It also reminds me a lot of many Vin Diesel films. A lot of action stars. This is kind of like they've tread a similar path. This kind of sci-fi movie. It reminds me a lot of the Pitch Black movies in particular. I think that, I don't know how I feel about the Predator being the good guy that we side with. I don't know if if it works in that regard. I wonder how a human got on this. I don't know. He just seems very naked without his mask on, right? I don't know. Maybe a little innocent. Maybe that's what's off-putting about it. He seems more vulnerable. Usually the Predator is like impenetrable, not just physically, but also emotionally. This Predator looks like he's got some feelings. But I think Elle Fanning looks really cool. She looks great. And I wonder how she's able to survive on this Predator planet as a human. I guess she's going to maybe be the sidekick to the Predator. I don't think it has a particularly large number of cool shots. She looks great. She looks a lot like that character, the apprentice on Ahsoka. Very similar look. And she didn't get, that's a great shot. That shot in particular is real nice. But it's also very Mando. But that's very cool. How did they differentiate Star Wars from Predator? That's tough to do. I mean, Alien is also a space adventure, but that was one of the best things that Fede Alvarez did with Alien Romulus, is that he leaned so heavily back into the Ridley Scott aesthetic, which really, I think, defines that franchise. But the Predator doesn't have that luxury. There's like a Predator priest. Communion. Let's see here. And then this shot where her eyes glazed over. That was really cool. I liked that quite a bit. Speaking of Fede Alvarez, that reminds me a little bit of his Evil Dead. But I thought it was good. It wasn't as, I gotta tell you, I think that the animated trailer was better. The animated trailer that just came out a couple of weeks ago, I thought that was better. And just goes to show, that animation, that's one of the benefits, I think, of animation for adult content, in that you can go further with action sequences, not only in terms of, the budget, but, what you ask of your characters to do, This seems like it's got a lot of practical elements to it, but potentially that might limit the action because of that. So, I think it was solid. This to me looks like an August release, if I'm being honest with you. Instead, it's set for November 7th, which has taken a very important release date where they usually in the past have put a Marvel movie. And many of us have thought that Fantastic Four might have done a little bit better there, for the holiday season, for Thanksgiving. I know that Disney, of course, has Zootopia and Avatar for later in the holidays, but early November, I think Fantastic Four, or maybe even Thunderbolts, could have made a nice chunk of change there. I don't know if I would have put this movie there. I think this to me is not a huge, doesn't warrant, at least from what we're seeing so far, that level of a release date. This to me is a end of, August, maybe February, September, like that kind of a release date. That's how it looks to me. But maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised. All right, so what did you think? What did you think of this new Predator movie? What do you think of Predator as a vulnerable good guy? Share your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching with me. Subscribe today. And of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.